Welcome to the Dental 18 podcast. I'm your host, Kira Dent, and I have this crazy idea that maybe I could combine a doctor and a team member's perspective because let's face it, dentistry can be a challenging profession with those two perspectives. I've been a dental assistant, treatment coordinator, scheduler, biller, office manager, regional manager, practice owner, and I have a team of traveling consultants where we have traveled to over 165 different offices coaching teams. Yep, we don't just understand you, we are you. Our mission is to positively impact the world of dental, and I believe that this podcast is the greatest way I can help elevate teams, grow VIP experiences, reduce stress, and create A-teams. Welcome to the Dental 18 podcast. You guys, welcome to Workshop Wednesday. Burn it off. Francis, I'm so excited. You already said aloha, so we're getting into our warm weather over there. So welcome. There's Tiffy. She's here. Tiff is, how you doing today, Tiff?
I'm alive, so that's good.
I know them you don't have COVID. I just said you had a little tummy ache today.
Yeah, I know. I actually looked up and found this this list, and it compares COVID to the flu to the cold. And I definitely checked off almost every single item on the flu. So, and really any COVID.
Perfect. As long as it's not COVID, you'll get better, nurse you back to health. So Tiff, your picture looks amazing. You look great on there. Super excited to have you. Ash and I are rocking our Dental A-Team shirts. We've got Kaylee and Rachel behind the scene, and we have all of you joining us today. So we're super jazzed. And as always, Tiffany and Ashley, we're going to get started with this. Ash, where are you coming from? Tell us a little bit about yourself for those of us joining. You guys should know Ashley's bio by now, so let's see if she shakes it up today and tells you a random fact. So go for it, Ash.
Oh man, I feel like we should almost just let the class or our audience write our bios for us and see what happens.
Who is Ashley Dorn?
Throw it in the comments. What do you know about me? Rugby. Yes. Okay. That's true.
Woo! Yeah.
Last week. Way to go. Okay. So yes, I am coming in DJ.
DJ. I love it.
That's Kira's favorite thing to say about me. Is not really true.
It's so true. If you guys have attended any of our events, Ashley always does the playlist for it. For my birthday, my gift from her, one of them was actually a playlist. So Ashley really is a DJ. Don't let her fool you.
Okay, so I'm coming at you guys from Salt Lake City. Absolutely love dentistry. I've been at it since 17. Started off as a dental assistant, and I've worked basically every position in the dental office except for hygiene, and not legally a dentist. But I absolutely do love energy, and working with this team. I love our core values of fun. That's a huge thing for me. And I love coaching teams and just bringing more joy and happiness and making the world of dentistry a better place for everyone.
Totally. Ash, I adore you. You guys, I want somebody next time, when we say, we're going to introduce, remember that Ashley has never legally been to dentist. I need to hear that story. I think, Ashley, we should do a podcast on it.
You totally should.
Oh, man. All right, Ash. Sure adore you. And if you guys don't remember, Ashley, one of her biggest strengths is marketing. She does all things marketing. She's got incredible design, helps with websites. So if you guys have questions on that, be sure to hit Ash up. She coaches a lot of offices on these things. She coaches us. So utilize Ashley 100%. All right, Tiff, you're up, girl. Tell us a little bit about you. You guys, you can also put in the chat comments some things, random facts about Tiffany. You should know some, but Tiff, go for it. Tell us a little bit about yourself as well.
Well, number one, I always forget that on the workshops, it's going to log me in under my personal Zoom and not my Dental A-Team Zoom. So that's why you have my beautiful, that is from the cruise.
I do like it. It's such a cute picture of you, though. It's so cute.
Luckily, it's semi-professional. I am coming to you from my bed today in Phoenix, Arizona. It's sweltering hot outside, so we have the AC and the fans going. And I don't know. I've been with the Dental A-Team from almost day one of the Dental A-Team. I've been with Kira from almost day one of everything we've ever done. And I love what we do. We freaking create magic, you guys, and change lives, and we inspire, we create, and we pivot. I was bragging the other day that Kira just pivoted this business so much when all of this hit the other day, and we have experienced some massive change and growth, and we've been able to help a lot of people. So that's me in a nutshell. That's all of those words describe me. I love inspiring and being here for people.
Totally. Tim, love it so much. And thanks for that compliment. As all of you here, you guys have also had to pivot the way you do dentistry, the way you run a practice. And it was interesting when we were preparing for Patient Flow workshop today, as I was writing it up and Rachel, we were talking about it yesterday, I thought, man, so many of these things that we used to say have changed through this pandemic. And so all of us get to pivot and to create and to innovate. And I think that there are two sides to this coin. So what I wanted to start today's workshop off with is sometimes it's all our perspective and the way we view it. So Mondays are my crazy days. Mondays, I start at 6 a.m. I only do coaching calls on Mondays because if you're the client that was on my coaching call agenda yesterday, I'm so sorry because I missed you because I don't remember I have coaching calls on any other day. Monday's like coaching call day. So I start at 6 a.m. always, every Monday. And I go solid. This week, Monday, I went clear until 2 o'clock. No breaks, nothing, just like back to back to back every 30 minutes. If you know me, I'm super good at being on time. That's a total lie. I'm usually like 1 to 2 minutes. Or if it's Ashley, I'm like 1 to 2 days off my schedule. And so for me, Mondays are so stressful. And I actually was working with my personal coach. I actually have a coach that I hired from Tony Robbins. Her name's Corrine. And it was interesting because when I was talking to her on Monday, actually had a call with her on Monday. And I said, gosh, like Mondays are so hard for me. They're so stressful. Like they're exhausting. I feel like I'm on like the hamster wheel. These are words I was using. And she's like, yeah, that's a good point. Or like, could you say like Monday's the day I slay the day? Like I start my week off so productive. Like I love Mondays because I wake up just like rocking and rolling and helping a ton of offices. And it was crazy because when she said that, I was like, well, actually, yes. And she texted me yesterday and she's like, so Kira, did you slay Monday? And that little change in my mind of what this opportunity was, it could be the hamster wheel, the like rat race, the exhausting, like all day long coaching calls, or is it like I'm so obsessed with Mondays because I get to talk to all my favorite clients. It's so much fun. I get to see if I can stay on schedule all day long. And I think that those things are really how we are able to then change and pivot and innovate. So for all of you right now, I want you to think about how your office is. Think about what your outlook of dentistry is. And I'm not going to judge you, but let's pop in the chat. Like, how do you feel the outlook of dentistry is for you? I am okay if you're like Kira Dent on Monday where I'm like, I'm on a freaking rat race run right now. Like it's exhausting. I'm tired. Or you could be like my coach that's like, this is awesome. We're innovating, creating. How do you guys feel about dentistry and the outlook of dentistry right now? Pop it in the chat. I don't care what it is. We just want to get some conversation going with you guys today. How do you feel about dentistry and the outlook of it for you personally? Anyone can participate, including Rachel and Kaylee. You guys can pop on in there too. Pop it in the chat. How do you feel how it is? And don't worry, we learn how to treatment plan. We'll wait for you. It's worth fighting for. I love that. All right. How else? Ready to grow and serve our community with the new best practices. Awesome. I love that. What else do you guys feel? Ash, how do you feel about it while they're chiming in?
I really like Mondays. I love getting back from a weekend of just like relaxation, and jumping back into like the workforce, right? Being able to connect with my clients on Mondays. When I was in dentistry, I'm going to be super honest, I didn't always feel that way, right? Especially whoever I was working for at that time. It was, a lot of it was like, the team culture, the doctor, a lot of it played into that. But ultimately, I loved helping people. And on the days where we had a more fluid and full schedule, those were the days I really craved because I absolutely love like that fast-paced energy that our team had, the good teams had.
Totally. And Ash, how do you feel about the outlook of dentistry right now? What's your take on it? In full transparency, like, is it positive? Is it negative? Like, what do you see it as?
I see it as a positive thing. Like we're reopening. So many of my clients are more busy now than they ever have been. And they're super excited for the busyness and for being able to see and help their patients again. So I've been having a really positive outlook on it.
Yeah, I like that. Some other comments that came in, you guys. I love when you'll chat with us because then we feel like there's people out in the world. So thank you. I think that there are great things coming ahead for dentistry. We've got growing patients ready to get healthy. Fantastic. And I want you guys to remember, thank you for that as well, Ashley. You guys remember that there will be days that you wake up ready to like slay it. And you're just so excited and you're on fire and it's amazing and the world is so great. And there might be days when you wake up and you're like, and put the covers back on. And I think it's important to remember there are two sides to this coin. There are two sides to you as well. And it's okay whatever day you wake up on. I think the more that we can remember to pivot, to innovate. It was really cool because my coach that I'm telling you about, she also asked me and she said, hey, Kira, do you believe that you can feel anything regardless of what external factors are? Meaning, like, can I feel peace? Can I feel calm? Can I feel joy? Can I feel grateful? Can I feel any of those feelings right now, regardless of what externally is going on outside of me? You guys, I was in a little sour of a mood on Monday, and I was like, well, I think so. And she's like, Kira, I want to remind you that you absolutely can. Like, just by thinking about being grateful, just by thinking about innovating and creating, you can feel that no matter if you're sitting in sheer chaos around you. So just remember, you guys have the opportunity right now to change and create. And sometimes you guys, like, I have 3 coaches, 3, like, count them out, 1, 2, 3. I've got Liz, I've got Kareen, and I also have a personal life coach as well. So those 3 coaches out there are in my life right now, you guys. And I also will have number 4. I have a personal trainer too. So like, Kira Dent has a lot of coaching, and I do that on purpose because I've got to buoy myself up. I've got to be able to help my perspective change. I need people to look at my world from a different angle. So I just want you guys to remember, like, perspective's all that it is. Reality is just what you choose to create it. And that's what we're going to go into with Patient Flow today. So Rachel, you're a rock star. Please send in your the worksheets that we have for you guys today. And let's get rocking and rolling. Who's ready for Workshop Wednesday? I want to hear a yes without a yes. Put it in the chat, guys. Who's ready for Workshop Wednesday? Yeah, booyah. I love you guys so much. Whoop, whoop. Yes. Loving it, loving it. Holla back. All right, let's get rocking and rolling. So here we go. I am going to do a quick share screen with you. All right. Oh, by the way, we're going to talk about, you guys should have received an email before I get into those worksheets. As you guys are getting your worksheets going, you should have received an email from Rachel because our Workshop Wednesday people are our team. So you guys got a sneak peek to our most exciting new rollout. So if you guys come down, you are part of our pre-launch registration for customized coaching. You guys should totally go read our website. We think we're hilarious, and there's some really funny things. But basically what we're doing is we are doing customized coaching for you guys. It has completely changed from what it was before. So really, you get to choose, are you a silver office? Are you a gold office? Or are you a platinum office? Down here, you guys can see what kind of coaching do you want? What kind of coaching do you need? These are all the different options. You guys can see down here, and there will be details. So if you want more details on it, 100% recommend getting a coach right now. And I will show you guys afterwards what it looks like on the inside, because this 12 systems comprehensive success cycle, let me just say we're freaking jazzed about it. So just letting you guys know real quick, but we're going to move on to our worksheet, and I'll show you guys a little bit more about that at the end. All right, you guys, patient flow, here we go. So with the patient flow, the reason we're doing this actually is part of our 12 systems comprehensive success cycle. So as the dental A team, we all started working together, and we realized, hey, offices fall off track, right? We implement a system when we go in and they fall off track. And then we go back in and we put it back in place. We're human beings. So we created a comprehensive success cycle for you guys. And every single month, we're going to focus on a system to implement in your practice. So as a quick visual, what I mean by this is, if you guys look here, we have 12. So under designing profitability, we have company goals, KPIs, billing, January, February, March. Achieving results, we have all of these. I apologize for that. Ops manual, scheduling, patient flow, treatment planning, marketing, hygiene, and meetings. And then we have office manager and HR, communication, and morale. So achieving results, you guys, we're in the month of June. Patient flow, what is our workshop on? Oh, hey, patient flow. That's why we're here, because we want to start giving you guys systems every single month, so you have checklists, scorecards. This is part of the coaching that I was just showing you about. You can see over here we have a ton of downloads, and you'll work with your coach. So that's why we're working on patient flow. Just so you guys know, we're going to do it this week and next week, and I have a surprise for you for June 24th. So just get ready for it. It's not about patient flow. I'm pretty excited about that surprise. So let's talk patient flow. That's why we're doing patient flow. You guys are going to start to see themes to help you get your practice systematized in a way that you can actually follow, check off the boxes, make sure your practice doesn't fall off the bandwagon. So with patient flow, this is part 1. Next week, we're going to do part 2 of patient flow. So when we were building this out, we were thinking, all right, what is patient flow? And I started thinking like, okay, when they first come to the practice, we're going to back it up. It is not there. Where it is, patient flow starts with the phone call. Okay. So you guys, Rachel, I don't have access to this. So, if I could get some access, that'd be great. If you'll just let me in, that'd be awesome. But you guys, you're going to have to figure this out on your own. So Ashley's giggling over there because I don't even have access. It's fine. Don't even worry about it. So first impressions, answering the phone. We talked about this. So we're going to gloss over this a little bit faster. I want you guys to pop in the chat. Tell us with this chat, what are the 3 E's of communication? You guys should know this. This should be ingrained in you. What are the 3 E's? Pop them in that chat. What do the 3 E's mean? And if you don't know, that's okay, but you don't know.
I'll give you a hint. One of the E's is something we talk about a lot, and we actually mentioned it at the beginning of this workshop.
What do the 3 E's of communication? There. Energy. Yes, Steve, rocking on, man. So proud of you. Yes, energy is one of those. Thank you, Rachel. I think I've got access now. Yeah. All right, so we've got energy. I'm just kidding. I don't have it yet. So we've got energy. I'm just going to download this. So here we go. Energy is 1. You are correct, Steve. All right, what's the next one? So we have energy, empathy. You got it. You got it. All right, here we go. Don't worry. There's always a solution. Okay, so we've got energy. We have empathy. What's the last one? You guys should know this. This is probably my favorite E, actually. Edification, you got it. All right. So, hang on. By the way, we talked to you guys last time. Who brought a friend with them or who invited somebody to the workshop today? That was our challenge from last week. Who did that? Put it in if you guys invited somebody. You brought somebody with you to Workshop Wednesday today, because there is a prize on the line for this. Last time I did it, I invited, not sure she's here. Ashley. All right, Ashley, you're the first one. Yep, Burge, Joe's here. Steve. All right. We have for you guys today. My kids are watching. I like it. Nice job. Nice job. Ashley and Steve, please, ladies, Rachel and Kaylee, it's not always going to be Amazon gift cards. That's just what I feel like doing. Steve, you lucky man. I don't know what you're buying on Amazon, but send them a $25 gift card to Amazon right now. Thank you guys for doing that. Nope, Steve, you get it. We're doing 2 today. Don't you worry, because we do. You invited. They're here. So Ashley and Rachel, please get them to, Kaylee and Rachel, please send Steve and Ashley a $25 Amazon gift card. Thank you guys for inviting. Thanks for being here. All right. So I didn't want to forget that. Back on track. I'm a little all over the place. So back on track. When we answer the phone, we do energy, empathy, edification. Ashley, walk us through, what do those mean? What are those energy, empathy, edification? And why is that important when we're answering the phone to new patients?
Man, it's that first impression right off the bat, right? As soon as you pick up that phone, that patient wants to hear all 3 of these things. You definitely need to sound happy about where you work. So I feel like that is huge when it comes to the energy. We want that happy, bubbly, energetic voice. Empathy. Empathy is another huge one, you guys. We definitely need to make sure that patient on the other end, whether they're a new patient or an existing patient, they need to feel heard, right? And let's say so-and-so calls with a major toothache, you need to empathize with them, because that creates and that fosters that relationship of trust. So that's another huge one. Edification is huge as well. As Kira mentioned, it's probably one of her favorites, probably one of my favorites as well. We definitely need to be edifying each other, building up each other in our practice. Thank you so much for calling. I definitely understand you're in some pain today. Don't worry, our doctor, he's one of the most kind, gentle doctors I've ever come across in my entire career. And I've been working in dentistry a long time. Like, that's a huge way so you can build up your doctors and build up your team members in the practice.
Yes, Ash, I love that so much, because you guys, think about it. When we're going somewhere, I told Ashley last time when we got off the workshop, I crumble at the end of these workshops. You guys, I give you my heart and soul on these workshops. You should feel my energy as if I'm sitting right next to you, because that's what I want you to feel. I want you to be excited. I want you to feel all the feels, because I've got to communicate through this computer screen to you. I can't physically be in front of you. Well, that's the exact same thing with a patient on the other side. So Ash, just like you said, bring that energy, build it up. Tiffany, I love watching her in events. So today's not the day we'll see it. You guys will see it another time. Tiff, literally, when she says thank you for calling, I watch her every single time she demos this, you guys, and she will go, Thank you for calling. Like, she sits up in her chair. There's like a whole like lift on her of how much energy she's going to bring when she answers that phone. And it's crazy because, you guys, I feel these 3 E's are a lost art in today's society. We forget, we do the text messages. That's why there's emojis, to add that energy, that empathy, that edification to it. And it's so important. And we don't think that answering the phone is a big deal. You guys, my first thought when I was building this worksheet last night was, oh, we need to talk about when they arrive at the practice. I even forgot, and I thought, whoa, that's like, we're glossing over this. We don't think that first impression of the phone call is important. And it's so important. I've told you guys before, if you've listened to the podcast at all, and if you're not, pop on over, get onto the podcast. You can share the podcast with a friend. That might be our challenge. Kaylee and Rachel, don't let me forget. But when you're on the podcast, I talked about how I was looking for a new physical therapist, and I called like 3 different physical therapy offices. And you guys, no joke, on the phone, it was like, thanks for calling. How can I help you? Or like, such and such, like sports medicine and physical therapy. This is Kira. And I was like, wow, I don't want to talk to you. Like, gross. Like, do you love your job or do you hate your job? Because it feels like you hate your job. And why do I want to come see you? And I thought about it. And I think the podcast is actually called Your Front Office is Killing Your Practice. You guys, right now, especially in the pandemic, in the things we're dealing with, people need to feel safe. They need to feel secure. They need to feel heard. They're looking for guidance. It's a weird world out there right now. I don't know if you guys have even turned on the news. If not, like, keep it off. That's a great option too. Like, the world is weird right now. And so people are looking for that. So that energy, that welcoming, that, hey, because you guys, like, we have masks on our faces all the time now. We can't smile at people all the time. Some of the things that we used to communicate with, those have been stripped away from us. So how can you bring that energy? How can you bring that empathy? How can you bring that edification? I put on there with edification, you guys, people on the other side want to feel like they're on the winning team, and they can feel that sincerity. So when I edify Ashley, Tiffany, Kaylee, Rachel, you guys, I'm not making up words. It would be real fun to be like, oh my gosh, Ash is my best friend. Like, that'd be fun. The reality is Ash is one of my best friends. And so you can feel that sincerity because I genuinely, truly love and adore Ashley. I really do. So I'm going to easily speak kindly of her. Now, if you have a doctor, because I used to have doctors that I did not care for. First and foremost, if you don't care for your doctor, maybe find a different office. Second, there might be team members that you don't necessarily care for. They're not your best friend. There's always something about people, any person you meet, that they can be better than you in some way. Dr. Smith, the Dean of Midwestern, told me, Kira, every person I meet is better than me in some way. I always look for it so I can improve myself. And I loved that mindset. So I don't care. Find something. Ashley is better than me. She's amazing at marketing. Tiffany, you want to talk about efficiency? Tiffany's my go-to girl. She's my jam. Ashley, details galore. I called her yesterday. I could not figure out a solution. I called her and said, Ash, what do I do? Ashley's incredible at that. So I find something about all these people of how they can truly, like, they're better than me. I can edify them with sincerity. So you guys, edify. I can't hone in on that enough of how much that edification. Forget it. If you don't have the energy or the empathy, all right, work on those. Edification. If you're going for any of these, first and foremost, add the edification, build up your team, because patients want to believe that their office is the winning office. You're going to work on my mouth. I only have these teeth. Like, I get one shot at these. I need to have confidence that you're the best at doing this. Ash or Tiff, you got any thoughts on that?
I totally, sorry, Tiff, I can't see you if you just unmuted. I'm interrupting you, but I totally agree, right? Like, we don't actually realize that, like, because we work in dentistry, and I was thinking of this last night, but for people who don't actually work in it, right, it takes an insane amount of trust and relationship and confidence to allow somebody to literally take a drill to your head and face. Like, think about that for a second. So the way we communicate with people is huge. It's huge in developing this relationship and this level of trust. So really all 3 of these, empathy and edification, energy, all 3 of them go hand in hand. I feel like we could just talk about these 3 things for the rest of this webinar because they're so important. And so many times we see offices just not cutting it when it comes to this. Like you said, the first thing you do, when you get on the phone, it's huge to have all 3 of these and really bring all 3 forward.
100%. You guys, if you're struggling with that, grab a mirror. I'm not kidding. When we've coached offices, I've gone to the dollar store and bought a mirror and said, smile on it. And so that way they have to watch themselves when they pick up the phone to make sure they're smiling, they're bringing the energy. You can even put 3 E's on that mirror so they see themselves. Are they bringing the energy? Are they bringing the empathy? Are they edifying? Because it's going to make or break your practice, and it's going to set that first impression. First impressions are real hard to win back over. Like, you can do it, but it takes a lot of work. So why not just nail it every single time? Ashley, Tiffany, myself, we all practiced this numerous times, which is why it just rolls really easy for us. But we weren't that way. I can promise you, when I first answered the phone, my first couple of times, my first years in dentistry, I didn't have the 3 E's in me at all. Like, I just like, thank you for calling. And I would be like typing away and not even paying attention to them. Like, yeah, Dr. So-and-so, super great, super excited. Like, see you on Wednesday at 4:00. I didn't have intentionality behind it. Tiff, you got something?
No, I feel like you guys covered a ton. I don't have anything to add.
Hello, Dentally Team listeners. I am so excited because we have truly been fortunate and blessed to work with so many incredible practices across the nation and globe. We have what is called our Platinum practice, and that is super popular. And this quarter, we are only bringing in 3 new Platinum practices. This is an area that is going to grow you exponentially. So give us a call. We only have limited space. I said only 3 this quarter due to popularity and demand. So let's get you in as a Platinum practice this quarter.
Cool. All right. Okay, Tiff, just like give me a thumbs up on your screen or something when you're ready to talk.
I gotta find those emojis.
Find those emojis. We'll know you're ready. All right, you guys. So pick one of those things. What are you going to work on? Now, the second thing when you're answering the phone is your tone. I put on there level up, and it means either leveling up does not mean like adding more energy. Sometimes it means scaling it back as well. So whatever your tone is coming across, watch that. Ask people. Office managers, I used to do it. I'm such a twisted human, I think. I would sit in my office and I would call on my cell phone, like from a blocked number, to hear how my girls would answer the phone. At a pedo office. I don't know, you guys, you definitely want the dental team to come to your practice or to coach you, because this is what we do. I call offices that I coach to listen in. Ashley and I have done it before. At a pedo office, there was 2 levels in this practice. So upstairs was like where the team worked, or like the staff room, and downstairs was where the patients were. And we could see cameras. There were cameras set up. So what I did is upstairs, I was watching on the cameras, and I would call and I would actually watch to see the people answering the phone of how they answered. So I could give them feedback just to hear how they were answering the phone, just to see. So you guys at Super Paramount Docs, go pop into the front and just listen and then give feedback, because we need to land those first impression calls. Level up. What does that mean? Like, bring your energy, bring your A game, or tone it down, depending upon. Have that energy, have that empathy. So another worksheet we wanted to give you is, a lot of times the first impression, those phone calls can take a really long time. So we've actually created for you guys a 5-minute new patient phone call. It sounds wild, but we're going to walk you through this. So Rachel, if you'll share that in the chat, this 5-minute new patient phone call. I used to do this whole, like, let's get your insurance, let's get all this information. And then I spent hours, okay, not hours, hopefully a few, like 20 minutes though, verifying, thank you, Rachel, verifying for the patient, and then they never showed up. So this new patient phone call is quick, fast, efficient, and it helps keep your new patients scheduled on your books. So smile before you answer so they can feel your energy. Thank you for calling. All Smiles Dental. This is Kira. How can I help you? There's other little things you can do, whatever your guys' phrase is. Get the patient's name. So it'd be Ashley. Hey, Ash, awesome. Super excited to meet you. How did you hear about our practice? You always want to find out your referral information, always. Ashley, how important is referral information for you?
Oh man, this is one of the first things I check, you guys. If I am your coach, I will be checking to see, are you making a note of it in your patient software, how your patients are hearing about you? It's huge for marketing. I get doctors who are like, oh, I want a ton of new patients and I want to like boost my referrals and all this other stuff. And I'm like, great. So how are your patients hearing about you? Are you tracking it? I think we are. Turns out they're not. So this is huge when it comes to ROI, return on investment, to see where you should put those marketing dollars to gain new patients. Mm-hmm. It's huge. So definitely. I love when people who are working at the front office literally have this sheet and they write it down. We not only like write everything, fill out this form, we scan it into their Smart Doc Center, whatever software you're using, and then we also note it in the software as well. So we have two areas where it's going.
100%. And I love you guys just have these forms printed. I know, I'm sorry, we're killing some trees. Yes. I also know that people are creatures of habit. If there's a line I have to fill in and I've got to scan it into the chart, I'm much more likely to hold myself accountable to it. And then it just becomes a habit. You guys, practice doesn't make perfect. Practice makes permanent. So the way I answer the phone is just a permanent routine that I've trained myself to do. I can untrain that. I just have to re-practice it to make that new habit permanent. So this can really, really help with that. So how did you hear about it? Great thing. Ashley will tell me, I just moved to the area, read your Google reviews. Oh my gosh, we love our patients. They're the nicest people to leave the Google reviews. I know you're absolutely going to love this practice. I'm dropping things. I know you're going to love this practice. So excited to have you here. So now our doctor and our entire team are amazing. I know you'll love it here. You guys, I didn't even read that. That's just what I would literally say to Ashley. I want her to know she's going to love it here. I want to pre-plant seeds of the experience I want her to have. So if this doesn't jive with you, change it to what you want them to feel. I want people to feel when they work with the dental A team that they're going to freaking love us. Okay, so I'm going to tell you, you guys, when you hire, not if you hire the dental A team as your coach, you will love us. I know you will. I know you're going to have an incredible experience. I know our coaches are the most elite coaches we could ever find. We're darn choosy with them. So I know you're going to get the best experience you could ever have. I say that when people call in to coach with us. Liz says that when she talks to new offices. You are going to love us. You would do the same thing for patients. What experience do you want them to have? Put that right here. So let me get your phone number just in case we get disconnected. 100% have been disconnected so many times and they don't call back. So don't miss that step. So awesome, Ash, what kind of an appointment are you looking for? Emergency cleaning, consult, ortho. She will tell me or other. This just is a quick circle. We want to find out what appointment. That way I can schedule more strategically. We're zipping through this. Fantastic. All right, Ash, so do you prefer this week or next week? This week's great. Okay, awesome. I've got Monday at 3 or I've got Tuesday at 4. What works best for you? I put in the time for her. She selects. Awesome, Ash. All right, we're going to make this so easy. I can't wait to see you next week on Wednesday at 4 o'clock. Can I snag your email real quick so I can send you our new patient paperwork? Yep, totally. I send it while I'm on the phone with Ashley. So you could even change this form to say like email sent, checkbox. But okay, Ash, just so you know, what we do is we actually confirm your appointment once we receive your paperwork back. So I've got you on the schedule, but to confirm it, I need to get your paperwork back from you. So did you get that email from me? Beautiful. When do you think I could expect that paperwork back from you? I can get back to you probably later today. I want Ashley to confirm a time with me. If she confirms a time with me, she's already made a promise to me. She's much more likely to show up for the appointment. You guys, this is so fun psychology. If you guys want to get into like Cialdini principles, go for it. That's what this comes from. She has promised me something. That's why you literally say this script. So when can I expect to see those forms back so I can get your appointment confirmed? Perfect. Probably like the end of today, or I'll get it to you by Friday. Amazing. I can't wait to meet you. I know you're going to love our office. So welcome to your new dental family. I'll keep my eye out for those forms and check for them on Friday. That's how you do this. Once those forms come back, that's when we go and verify the insurance. That's when we check on all their medical benefits. Why on earth are we doing that before it's even confirmed? Once a patient sends back their paperwork, you guys are way more likely to have these appointments for new patients confirmed. Ashley, Tiffany, any thoughts that I've missed or glossed over that you want to add to for this 5-minute new patient phone call? Ash, we'll start with you because I can see your face.
Just going off again, having a sheet of paper. I really love that. When I personally worked this process at a front desk, we had like 50 of these forms on green paper. So we would literally like fill out the green sheet, have this completed, scan it into their Smart Doc, like I said, right? And then we'd bring it to morning huddle as well. And then we would go over our new patients. We'd talk literally in our morning huddle how this patient heard about us.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So it's super important to review and go over that information together. Also, you guys, this solves so many problems, right? How many of you out there, patients show up right at the time of their appointment and then they still need to fill out all that new patient paperwork?
I hear that. I'm sorry.
So getting that commitment from them, another huge aspect of the verbiage that you should use in this form. We're all about like customizing this, right? We're customized coaching. That's what we're known for. So customize this form, make it your own, but definitely stick to that verbiage at the end and get that commitment from the patient so that you get your paperwork back and you get that appointment confirmed. Get that buy-in from them so that your hygienist isn't running 15 minutes into her appointment now because they took so long for paperwork.
Mm-hmm. Sorry, Ash, go ahead.
Go ahead. I was just saying easy. It's an easy solution.
It really is. And I was going to just add a little quick testimonial to what you were saying. I had an office and their new patients weren't showing up. They were always running behind. We implemented this. It fixed it. Their new patients were showing up. They weren't missing it. You can do this with existing patients. You guys have COVID forms now. Use the same process for those forms as well. Hey, Ash, when can I expect to see those back? You guys get that commitment. It feels kind of weird because we've never tried it. This will change your practice and keep you guys more on time. I promise you. Because I went back to this office and they said, Kira, we're struggling with our new patients not showing up. And I said, well, aren't you guys getting that like confirmation from the paperwork coming back in? And they're like, well, we used to, and we just stopped doing it. And I said, oh, well, what happened when you used to do it? And they're like, all of our patients showed up. And I said, oh, so why'd you stop doing it? And like, we just got lazy. And I was like, all right, well, and it was because you guys remember, practice doesn't make perfect. Practice makes permanent. They reverted back to what they had been practicing for years and the problem resurfaced. So practice this new model, use it, because at the end of the day, we just want them to show up and we wanted to make it easy. A 5-minute new patient phone call that makes them feel loved, welcome. It's super easy. You can even send these as an email link. We love having like Flex and Medento. Those are great companies you guys can use. They'll actually have online forms. So you can just quickly send it, imports right into your chart. It's a very fast, easy process to make it more efficient, especially with COVID to clean that up. So make sure you guys are definitely, Tiffany said on here, you can laminate them and scan them into a patient chart right away too. So we're not like wasting trees. A lot of offices do that. You guys can write with a Sharpie on laminated sheets and then use, what is that? So acetone, an alcohol that'll just take it right off if you write with a permanent marker. So that way they're not smudging. Permanent markers are great on laminated sheets. Great point on that tip. All right, you guys out there, questions on this. We went through 2 things, the 3 E's of edification. I lied, we went through 3 E's of communication. We went through our tone, and we also went through the 5-minute new patient form. What questions do you guys have? Because this is all part of the patient flow. If you guys can knock and rock that first impression with this new patient phone call, you guys are going to save so many steps down the line. It's a domino effect, like cheesy analogy for you, but truly, if you rock and knock this first one, like knock it out of the park, it's going to set the tone so much smoother for everything else. Insurance verification becomes easier. The benefits that they have are going to be easier. What they're coming in for communication is easier. Not spending time verifying appointments that don't even show up. Having more people show up on time, running on time. Having that edification and the energy to make people want to come to your practice. This is where patient flow starts and ends, is right here. So what questions do you guys have? Pop them in the chat or the Q&A. Let's make sure we ask your guys this question. Okay, there's a question. Tiff, this one's coming your way. So the question is, how do you answer, do you accept my insurance during the new patient phone call?
Thanks. Just kidding. Do you accept my insurance? We accept all insurances. Is a really easy answer. We bill on your behalf for any insurance that you have. What insurance is it that you take or that you'll be bringing with you? Yeah, absolutely. We bill on your behalf for that. We maximize all of our patients' benefits to the fullest extent here in our office.
100%. It's very easy. Thank you for that, Tiff. It's very easy, you guys, to say that. And you can say, you can go down the whole rabbit hole of, we're not a preferred provider. That goes down to this negative, like, you know what? Yes, we accept all insurances. And the great news is you get to choose whichever office you want. We bill on your behalf. We max out your insurance because guess what? 90% of insurances typically will cover 100% of all their cleanings. You will max out their insurance faster. Yes. Most insurances are just a coupon. We max it. Now, if it doesn't and it denies, you can let them know that. I don't think you should ever lie to them at all. I know you should never lie to them. You should definitely inform them. I love Tiffany's verbiage of we bill on your behalf. We maximize your insurance. And you can say, we're not a participating provider. We have tons of patients just like you who come here. We max your benefits for you. It's pretty similar to going anywhere else. And our patients absolutely love it. You're going to love Dr. Chang. We're going to bring you in on Wednesday at 3:00. And I roll right back to that appointment that I've already got set with you. that's my thing. Brilliant. Ashley, any other points you want to add to that question?
No, I love the positivity that's in everything that you guys just said, though, too, because it's not a negative aspect in any way, shape, or form. It's always highlighting that positivity.
Mm-hmm. And the reality is, if you know how insurance works, insurance is simply a coupon. That's all it is. It's a coupon. You guys, we get $1,000. Like, here's $1,000. Spend it how you want. And we just make sure we maximize it to its fullest. A lot of offices you're going to max out. So what do? A lot of preventative services will be covered. They might not. You can then offer your in-office membership plan. There's lots of different things you can do. I do ask specifically, especially if it's a Medicaid and we don't accept Medicaid, I do let them know that, hey, here's our membership offer, because I know that that's a path that's not usually, they're looking for 100% coverage. Now, if it's any other PPO, easy peasy. They will most of the time convert for you. Other questions that you guys have, great questions, Steve. Love that you asked that. Okay, ask away. We're going to move on. So now we're going to move into welcoming patients to the practice. All right, you guys have changed. We've heard from a lot of offices. It's changed. There's a lot of differences. It's no longer they're coming into your waiting room. They're sitting outside. They're signing in via text. If they're not doing this, the text to chair option is a great option. They can sit in their car. You guys, I kind of like some of the changes this pandemic has been. I feel like I'm royalty a little bit. Like, I just show up to a restaurant, they bring my food out to me. Like, it's super convenient on a lot of levels. And so welcoming patients to the practice, we still have to make sure we get this like energy and edification and excitement for coming into our practice, because we can't do it in the traditional ways that we were doing it. So sign in, do this via text. You guys, I would be witty on my text messages like, welcome to the best day of your life. You're at the dental office. Please sign in. Like, I would literally witty up my text messages to them instead of like, sign in, like text us when you're here. I would make funny signs for them. You guys, that wit, that humor, while still being professional, make sure you're still professional, I think goes a long way. You can also have like little signs, little badges. You can rotate the person who's going to be their greeter. So if you have somebody that you know is going to get them like, press 1 for this hygienist. Different ways you can have them, but make it really fun. Still make it awesome. You could even have like a sign of your whole office where patients are pulling in. So it says like, welcome. One of our awesome team members they can't wait to welcome you in today. So little things like that are going to just feel good. So you guys have to get a little more creative. Spin. If you're not that person, ask people in your office, like, how could we make this a welcoming place to come to? We already talked about forms online, Flex and Medento. You guys, we do get a discount with Medento. So if you guys want that, we're happy to share that with you. Let them know the Dental A team sent you and you'll get a discount with Medento. And then smile, make them want to be there. So I wanted to actually use today as more of a collaboration with you on this area. Please pop in the chat, you guys. And I'd love to hear from all of you. So, and when we share, even though it sometimes can feel scary, it really helps the whole group. So we're all here for workshop. We share our best. We want you to share your best as well. But like, what makes you feel welcome somewhere? Just think about this and pop it in there. When you show up somewhere, what are some of the little things or big things that really make you feel very welcome? It could be to someone's home. It could be to a restaurant. It could be to a business. I don't care. What makes you feel welcome when you go? Pop it in the chat. We're gonna share some ideas. What makes you feel welcome when you go somewhere? Rachel, Ashley, you guys can answer as well. What makes you feel welcome?
I would say probably the number one thing is, yes, definitely greeting by name. Ashley, thank you for saying that. That's huge. I was also going to say, just thank them for coming. Thank them for showing up, for being a patient of your practice, for sure. Whether or not you actually know somebody, like even going to a restaurant, just they thank you for being there. That feels very welcoming.
Absolutely. I love how many of you said like, make sure that the name's correct, acknowledgement and a smile, just saying welcome. Completely agree. And I love what Ashley said of thank you. Like, thanks for being here. I think back to when I went and saw Ashley last week. I felt very welcomed at Ashley's house. She was very accommodating. She opened the door. It was a big smile. Like, Kira, I was so excited to see you. That felt so good. Now, if we have masks on and we can't smile, what do we do from there? We can say words. Your voice, your tone, you guys, we talked about it earlier. That can still come across. Even if I'm covered like this, like, welcome to our practice. So excited to have you. I've got to work even harder to overcome that barrier. You can still do it. I do think saying their name, huge. That's a huge way to welcome them. Little things like, hey, can we bring you a water? You guys, if it's hot outside, maybe there's bottled waters that you can take. Obviously have gloves on. Little small things. It's very interesting, you guys. There was nothing grandiose on here, like greeted by name, a smiling face, acknowledgement, saying hello, smiling face. Thank you guys for participating too, you guys. I love this because this is where we collaborate. I don't think we have the best ideas. I just think we're smart and surround ourselves with the smartest people, and we get the best ideas from that. The smiling face, tone of voice, attention to detail. I can't tell you how many places I've shown up where I walk in and I'm not even acknowledged. And it's like, sign in. Like, you jerks, I don't even want to be here in the first place. Like, make me feel like I'm important, or you even care that I showed up. Eating at the front desk, like I know it's COVID. That happens all the time. You guys just nix that. Don't do those things. Those things deter. That's not good. So we just went, yes, being acknowledged goes a long way, 100%. So now let's switch gears. I want to hear from you guys. What is like a huge turnoff when you show up somewhere? Like, what is the, like, we're not going back, or gosh, that was really rude. What doesn't sit well for you on a first impression when you go somewhere? No eye contact. Agreed, Tiff. When they're looking down, hello. When they don't look up at you, yes. What else? What's a huge turnoff for you guys? Can you wait a minute? Oh, vomit. Like, oh yes, sorry, I'm not important. Got it. Negative Nancy's, eating, drinking, cell phone at the front. Yes. Being short, no conversation. Amen. Those are gross, right? You feel like, sorry to bother you. I'm so sorry I interrupted your important day on the other side of that desk. Like, isn't your number one most important thing is me showing up at your practice? Yes. So watch those things. Look, and you guys, you can literally take this chat. Rachel, if you'll do us a huge favor and copy this chat and then send it out afterwards, because I think you guys should remember we're taking a poll from the masses today of like what's happening with these things. What are the things that make you feel super welcoming? And what are the things that are a huge turnoff for you when you show up? And right here, the simple things like, can you wait a minute? No acknowledgement, no eye contact, short. Those things are a huge turnoff. And the things that are making us feel super welcome are eye contact, a smile, acknowledgement. People don't really require a lot if you look at this list. We don't require a lot. We just want to be, I would say a simple way to put this is make them feel important. Acknowledging that they're here, thanking them for being here, smiling, giving them a high five. You can add in glitter and bells and whistles and all of that. Reality is you can simplify this down and just say like, hey, thanks for being here. We're so excited. We can't wait to see you. Little things like that will go a long way. So check and see, how does your team welcome people to the practice? How are your patients? How can you get beyond this barrier of masks and no contact? We've got to think outside of that. Send them a funny, witty text message. Make them giggle. You guys, one of the fastest ways to win someone over is to make them laugh. Like, that's why I think I'm ridiculous. Like, on our new thing, I wrote on there, like, don't worry, we don't charge extra for the guac. Like, I thought I was hilarious because like we give you everything and don't worry, we don't charge extra for the guac. Because I hate going to Chipotle and I want the dang guac and they charge me extra for it, right? Like, so funny things like that. You can find little ways to add humor to make people laugh. I'm seeing Ashley's laughing over there. That feels good. Her guard's down. She feels comfortable. You feel comfortable or uncomfortable sometimes when we giggle, right? But typically, if you can make them laugh, that was always my goal, was to make my patients in my operatory laugh, because I knew they were comfortable if they were laughing. I knew I'd won them over. So look for that, welcoming them to the practice. Have your own finesse and your own style, but that's going to help. So that's the first thing. So we've got our phone call, new patient phone call. Now we know when they welcome them to the practice. You guys, if your front desk who's been trained for years to know how to welcome people, if they're not the person welcoming, because I know a lot of hygienists and assistants are now going to get it or afloat, you always have to get those team members to understand this as well. I can promise you, when I was a front desk girl versus a dental assistant girl, my welcoming was much different. As a dental assistant, I was quick. Hurry up, get back here. Like, I'm kind of flip a room. I had a very, very tight agenda. And when I was the front desk, I knew I needed to welcome them, make them feel amazing. So watch to make sure if your clinical team's going to get your patients, don't lose those small little things. Again, it doesn't take a lot of time. Just make sure you're not going to lose that. Ash, you got any thoughts on that you want to add that I'm missing?
Just role play the heck out of this, you guys. It's so important, because all these little things we're talking about right now, like we can talk and you can tell them to your team, but actually practicing it and participating is going to be huge. Another fun thing I just wanted to add that one of my like rockstar offices are doing on their name badges, they actually have a picture of their smiling face, and it says "My smiling face without a mask on." I thought that was a super cute idea of like a way to connect with the patients and still have that like happy energy throughout the office. And you don't even have to like necessarily, it doesn't even have to be a name badge. It could just be like a picture of your normal front desk person without a mask, happy smiling face. Like put that up at the front office. It's super, super cheap and cost effective to get creative with this stuff. So definitely do that. But role play. If you're going to take away from anything that I just said, role play and practice this.
Mm-hmm. I love that, Ashley. And you guys, I'll tell you, as a child, my mom used to wanted me to have eye contact. I was shy, believe it or not, as a child. I giggle because I feel like I'm so extrovert. Guys, you put me in a big crowd when I'm not needing to present. Ask Tiff. I'm a chicken. I'll like hide at mastermind events because I'm like, I'm so anxious talking to people. I get uncomfortable unless I'm like presenting. And Tiffany just wrote 100% truth. You guys, I'm so awkward. And you would think like, Kira, no way. Yes way. I used to not have eye contact with people. I used to not do that. My mom, the way I got over that was she's like, Kira, look me in the eyes. And I would look and then I'd like dodge. And she's like, nope, look me in the eyes. Have an uncomfortable staring contest. It feels so awkward. Amazing. If we can get over that awkwardness. So maybe as like a team activity, put our masks on and we sit there with a staring contest and we like rotate through. Can we stare at them? Can we talk to them? Can we maintain that eye contact? Those simple little things will, like Ashley said, role playing this out. You will be shocked to see how many people, including yourself, will dodge away. You'll look away. You won't feel comfortable. You'll be like, abort. Or you'll think that you're smiling and you're really not. I can't tell you how many times people have told me like, Kira, are you mad? I'm like, no, I'm not mad. Like, oh, your eyes seem angry. And I'm like, shoot. Like I remember as a dental assistant, they said, watch your eyes. Your eyes tell a lot of stories. So just check, test with each other, role play this out, because a lot of times the way we think we're presenting versus how we're actually presenting are two very different realities. So brilliant point on that, Ash. I love that. Tiff, I won't call on you. You've got a good chat going on. So if you have additional things, let us know. All right, let's roll you guys into these handoffs, okay? These are minimal contact handoffs. We used to have like pretty intense handoffs. We're not having intense handoffs anymore. We're trying to keep it minimal. So front to back handoff. All right. So Ashley's our patient. She walks in. I'm the front desk or whomever. So Samantha, I love that. Years and years of RBF. If you don't know what RBF is, ask a friend or quickly Google on, Urban Dictionary. They'll tell you. She said years of living with RBF has made me practice smiling a lot. Tiffany was the same way, you guys. So, and I've noticed I started to have it and I'm like, shoot, I got to start smiling more so people know I am really happy. So, all right, 2 handoffs. So this is the next part of patient flow. We've got our phone call. We welcome them to the practice. We're going to role play with our back office team members to make sure they're not missing the small little welcoming. And you can even do this exercise with your team. I hope you guys realize what we coach in Workshop Wednesday. We also send you the recording of it. You can literally take this workshop and do it as a team meeting with your team. Role play this out. Share the verb. Ask your team, hey, what makes you feel welcome? What makes you not feel welcome? Have them share exactly like we had you share. That will get them talking. It will make it make sense for them of what they like and don't like, and it'll be easier for them to implement this. So now with these handoffs, front to back handoff, it's probably not happening very much. If it is, keep it simple, like, hey, and we always edify. On this one, I would say edify the shenanigans out of that person. So the Ash is my person in front of me. I'm sending her to talk to Tiffany. Ashley, you're going to love Tiff. She's my favorite hygienist of all of them. You're absolutely going to love her. That's it. I just have to make Ashley fall in love with Tiffany before she meets Tiff, because I'm the friend in common. So we're going to roll it over to Tiffany. So it's this edification piece, you guys. I think these handoffs, yes, we're passing information, but I think the main thing we need to be passing, especially with masks on, especially with all the shenanigans that makes us look like beekeepers, like that has to happen with edification. So you're going to love her. Now back to Dr. Handoff. When we do this, drop the information, you guys. I don't care. Like have a sheet, have a laminate sheet. You can wipe those things down. But when back office transfers to doctor, this is where we do. Guys, it's terrible. But I'm going to just say it. Call it the crap handoff. All right. You're never going to forget it. So this crap handoff is compliment, recap, personal. Okay. That's what that means. So get your entire team to do this. So when doctor comes in, we're going to do our crap handoff. Okay. It's very, very, very simple. I'm going to compliment Ashley. I love when I coach teams this way. And it gets a little funny. So this is like a general overview, but I do love this because they'll compliment me like, Ashley's hair looks so cute. And I'm like, nope, we're actually complimenting like something in their mouth. So this works really great for hygienist to doctor. Doctors, you will love this because your handoff from every single hygienist will be the same. Your exams will be faster. Your patient care will be better. Assistants, you can do this. Sometimes it's hard to get this like oral cavity compliment, which by the way, oral cavity is such a gross phrase. I'm sorry, I just said that, like, ew, like just say the mouth. But with that, we say something that's a compliment there. So hygienist, you could say, for example, doctor comes in, oh my gosh, Ashley, here's Dr. Tang. We absolutely love Dr. Tang. So Dr. Tang, just so you know, Ashley's been doing a great job flossing. And then just so you know, we chatted about her, she's got a little bit of plaque on the bottom that we're probably doing SRP on. And then I talked to her how she might have a little fracture. You'll most likely recommend a crown for that. And just so you know, Ashley is headed to, she's headed to the grocery store after this. She's going to go brave the masses. Okay. Something personal. So the compliment is something of their oral health / hygiene. The recap is what treatment was discussed. And then the personal is something personal about them as an easy transition. Okay. So with this becomes really simple. And I put this in a lot of offices and call it the crap handoff so people can remember. We compliment, we recap, we say something personal. My friend teased me. He's like, Kara, why'd you name it the crap handoff? And I said, well, because you never forgot. He's like, that was the dumbest name. He's like, but I actually remembered it. So you guys will hopefully remember this compliment, something about their oral health will make them feel less stressed. Then we recap the treatment. So team members can tee up treatment for docs. And then the personal, doctors, this becomes really easy because as soon as I say Ash is going to go to the grocery store to pace the masses, you're like, oh my gosh, we just went to the grocery store and it was out of control. You have something to instantly connect with Ashley on. So it becomes really simple to make that quick connection. We're always edifying this. So we can put on here, thank you for that tip. We could say it's the, I don't want to put those words together, the edify crap. That's going to really, your whole team's really going to remember that now. But edifying, so we're going to say an edification when we hand off on all these handoffs. So when the doctor comes in, oh my gosh, we love Dr. Tang. He's the most amazing doctor, or whatever it is, we're always edifying back and forth. Then we do a compliment, a recap, and something personal. This is going to be a fast one. I love this one for hygiene. Dental assistants, sometimes it's a little trickier. However, you can do it pretty similar. Sometimes you've got to cut this compliment. Maybe you'll just say something positive about them. Like, Ash is so fun. She's one of our favorite patients. Just so you know, we're planning to do that crown. I already talked to her about doing the tooth in front of it. She's totally on board, ready to go. Dental assistants can tee this treatment up. And just so you know, Dr. Tang, she's headed out to go visit her daughter after today's visit. That instantly, doctors, you have an immediate connection and you can edify. Docs, you can edify like, oh my gosh, Kara, thanks so much. Kara's one of my favorite assistants. Ashley, you are so lucky today to have me and Kara as your duo. Saying those little compliments. Docs, you can compliment your hygienist. There's edification dripped throughout all these handoffs, and it will really, really help. Ashley, any thoughts on that you want to add on for the back office to doctor, crap handoff, the edification, anything you want to add in on that?
Just edify the crap out of each other. No, but I was going to add on, and all joking aside, I love that we're ending with the personal. I just want to touch on that again because these are real human beings, right? So being able to connect with them goes a long way. And people generally remember the last thing you say. Mm-hmm. More than anything else. So I do really love that personal touch comes through at the end.
Yes. And with that, a lot of team members have said, hey, Kara, how do I get that personal? And I'm like, you got to chit chat with them. Like, so Ash, what's going on today? Tell me about your day. It's very easy to get some personal nugget about them that you can then pass to the doctor. And you can write this down, little laminated sheets that say CRP on them. So everybody can just quickly, most of your patients will think that you're ridiculous and didn't know how to write CPR. So you're totally fine. They're not going to know what it is. They'll just quickly think CPR back there. You guys know it's CRP. In this order, it will go really well. Practice with your team members. These quick little handoffs will make your office more efficient, less patient interaction, less miscommunication. It's going to help a ton. Docs, this is going to tee up your treatment for you. So it's going to really help you. You can train your hygienists, you can train your assistants what to look for. So that way they can actually tee the treatment up. You walk in, your exams can be done in a few minutes and not feel impersonal. because your team's already been edifying, building up, building all this. You come in, you dazzle, you wow, you connect with them real quick, and you can move on. So it makes it very efficient the whole way around. Now, in Doctor, you hand it back to your handoff's going to go back to the back. So you would say, all right, so if Ashley's our patient, all right, Ashley, Kira's going to take great care of you. She's incredible with just making patients feel loved. She's going to get you scheduled to come back and see us in 2 weeks for that upper right crown. And I can't wait to see you. We'll see you for about an hour. And you're on your way out, doc. So you edify me as your assistant. You edify the hygienist, whomever it's going back to. That way, and also as team members, we love to hear doctors when you give us compliments. I can't tell you how much a compliment will go a long way for you. So it's a quick little handoff. Now, when the back goes to the front handoff, this is the area that we've been chatting about a lot with you guys of try hard. We talked about scheduling last workshops. If you've missed those workshops, email us hello@thedental18. We're totally happy to send you some of our resources. But when we're schedule, take payments, present treatment plans, a lot of this can just be done with the assistant or the hygienist. We don't actually have to come back to the front office. That's going to cut down with that minimal treatment. And I was just talking to an office, like, how do we communicate payments? Guess what? The front office can totally put in there, like, collect $195 in the appointment block. So we don't actually have to communicate back and forth, pass paper, nothing like that. It can be in there. Credit card swipes on Medento, on iPads. There's so many easy ways to do this. Also, when they're checking in, we could take prepayments right there. You guys know this. The front office could easily put that information in on the appointment block. What about how to communicate being scheduled or how to communicate a balance? Well, with this, we talked about with another office, they use Blue Note, and they were thinking like, checkout ready, no treatment plan needed, or checkout ready, treatment plan or finances needed. So that way the front office knows quickly, like, this person needs help, this one doesn't really need help, and we can just really wrap up that final impression with them. So I would say with this back to front office handoff, let's cut those down as much as we possibly can. Do as much in the back office as possible right now. Pivot, innovate, create. I know your team's going to say, we've never done this. Well, guess what? We never had a pandemic either. So it's a great time to pivot and innovate and ask them, how could we cut down patients being passed from person to person to person and make this more cohesive, more connected? So you really can just, I like to use Blue Note. Blue Note's probably my preferred communication platform. In offices, some will use like the Dentrix chat, some will use the Open Dental chat. I do think if you guys want like an external software, you can do that. Also headsets. I'm not sure 100% on headsets right now with COVID. What your guys' thoughts? Headsets do work pretty well because it's an easy communication. We're not having to bounce patients around. Route slips, we've always been pro route slips. You can still use them. Just make sure you wipe them or like clean hands back and forth. Most offices, though, have been cutting down that final back to front transfer as much as possible, and then just doing a quick handoff and recapping the NDTR, which is the next visit, date, time, and recare scheduled, yes or no. So that's pretty much in a nutshell what we're going to go over today. Ashley, Tiffany, any last thoughts before we ask you guys? We want to make sure you guys have all your questions related to this or other questions answered. Ash, what are your thoughts? Oh, Tiff unmuted. I saw it. Go, Tiff.
I was like, I gotta do it before she stops talking. I just wanted to reiterate the importance of doing all of this right now with the COVID, because people are already stressed out. They're already a little nervous coming in maybe. And we're all just looking for something different than what we're getting on the media. We want happiness. We want friends. We want to feel welcome. So I think today this was beautiful, Kira, and I think it was a wonderful idea. Thank you for putting all this information out there, because I think this is the most important thing that the offices could be doing right now.
Thank you, Tiff. And we created this. This was you and me going through our, like, how do these flow together? So we're excited for it. Ash.
I was just going to say, like, complete this worksheet on your own for sure. Like, we didn't fill in a lot of this stuff for a purpose, for a reason. This should be customized to your office and to your practice with how your current patient flow is going post-COVID. So again, role play it, fill in what verbiage you want used, like write these systems down for your team so that your team can actually follow them and revert back to them, because they're not just going to get them like that. Like, it's going to take consistent effort, practice, and time for it to develop.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And these are new things, you guys. It's a clean slate. I think that's my most excited piece of COVID. Our offices have had bad habits for years and years and years and have never known how to erase them, to redo them. You clean slate it. You get to make up, to create, to innovate. That is one of the most beautiful blessings that we've received through this pandemic. It's a terrible tragedy that we've had to go through, with an amazing, beautiful, like silver lining through it all. And so look for that change and pivot. So you guys, we, like Ashley said, I purposely did not answer this whole thing for you. We left it very, very open to customize, to work through this, to practice, to set up a new protocol of how we're doing this and role play with your team. So they're totally on board. I think we get back into practices right now and we have chaos, mayhem, thinking like, oh my gosh, we have all these patients coming. So we're just very reactive. Don't be the office that's reactive. Be the office that's very proactive. Your schedule will fill. Your patients will be so happy. They're going to refer their friends to you because it was such an incredible experience that was different than anywhere else they've ever been. Be the office that stands out. It's funny, I was pulling a stamp out of my wallet right before this workshop, and I left a little Dove chocolate because obviously Dove chocolate, like little like Dove love that they tell you on the inside of that like cough drops are starting to mimic, like not as cool on the cough drop side, way cooler on the Dove side. But it said on there, be someone that you look up to. So like be an office that you look up to. Be the office that's different. Be the office that patients look up to, that they want to be at. That's going to set you apart right now. And you guys, you have an opportunity. Like I feel like everybody baselined to the same level. Like how are you going to stand out? How are you going to be the office that's different? Be the office that stands out. Be the office that is an office that you look up to. All right, you guys, what are your takeaways? What are you going to go implement? Because there's no decision made until action has been taken. And you guys have been doing so good with your actions. So every one of you, do not even think about getting off this till you tell me, what are you going to do this week based on our workshop that you're going to go implement to make this week a better, different week? We've got smile more, positive verbiage. What else do we have? Beautiful, you guys. I love that. What else are you going to do this week to change? Edify and level up. Yes, that edification is so fun. Schedule role play. Good luck, Ashley. Your team is going to love it. They're going to love it. Just put it out there. They will love it. Smooth transitions and handoffs. Excellent. What else do you guys have? There's quite a few of you out there today. So thank you for being here as well. This is where you guys get to change. This is where you get to innovate. You get to create. So like we talked about before, I'm going to show you guys, be sure to go check out Silver, Gold, Platinum, get your customized coaching. It is 50% off, and you guys are the first ones to know about this. Kaylee, by the way, June 31st does not exist, only June 30th, but it's a magical day. Some of you might get it till July 1st. Less RBF, less Botox. I love it. I love it. You're exactly right. Less RBF will equal less Botox. Tell your patients that. They'll love you. Tell your team that. All right, you guys, as we wrap up today, masks help me with the RBF. You guys are making me giggle so hard today. Yes, I agree. Docs, if you don't know, thank you guys. So, all right, you guys, pop on over to Silver, Gold, Platinum. I want to see you there. This is how you're going to get customized coaching. I'm not kidding. I think I have used coaching more during pandemic than I have used my entire time as a business owner. I have been edified, grown, all of those pieces. So pop on over. I want you guys, I'm so excited. It's going to be so fun. And I want to know if you're going to be a silver, gold, or platinum office. So you guys, what questions do you have? It can be about our workshop today, or it can be about any questions you have. The Q&A or the chat box are totally open right now. We're going to hang with you guys for the next few minutes. What questions do you have for us? Any question you've ever wanted to ask our coaching team. You can even ask of what DJ song Ashley likes to play the most. Any question. What questions you guys have. It could be about anything you guys have going on in your practices right now. You have an entire coaching team sitting right in front of you. So be sure to utilize this. That's why we do these workshops for you. Ash, while they're thinking of their questions, what's one of the tips you've given your offices this last week in your coaching?
We've actually talked a lot about handoffs. So that's definitely been right up there, I would say, across all offices. A lot of offices too, with bringing employees back right now, as they're starting to like really ramp up patient care and starting to bring the whole team back. Mm-hmm. It's getting everybody calibrated. So I say a lot of these like new things that you're doing, which is why I stress like putting this into writing, and also onboarding. So onboarding your team again. Our ops manual has been a huge help for creating like that 30, 60, 90 onboarding process. Mm-hmm. Regular communication. That's another really huge factor right now, just to make sure everybody's on the same page. So set aside time every single week for regular communication with your office manager, with your whole team, full team meetings.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. I really love that. And it's funny you said that about the onboarding, because I forgot to tell you guys, anyone who signs up for coaching this month, oh, I'm excited. You get our video of how to write an irresistible hiring ad. Like, I'm pretty jazzed about what we made for you. It's a 20-minute video actually of how to write an irresistible hiring ad. So just want to put that out there because I think that that's a huge topic you got as well. All right, you guys, you asked some questions. So we've got how to deal with staff that are just afraid of the COVID situation. I've seen this in a ton of offices all across the board. And my advice on that one would be that it's going to be a conversation with them. Talk to them about what they're truly afraid of. Some of them might be genuinely afraid. That might be an absolute reality. Others might want to say they're afraid because they don't want to come back to work. And I don't mean that in a negative way. It is a reality of what some of them are doing. So talk to them, educate them on truly what COVID is, the reality of the statistics of what's going on, how it can really be spread, what the things are doing in your practice of the change. And what I found is most of them that have come back within 1 week, they're totally fine. And they realize they're not going to die. They're not going to catch COVID. Their family's not going to die. They're okay. And just so you guys know, as an actual fact that you can share with your teams, my husband works at the hospital, so he's been on pretty strong lockdown of everything COVID. He sees COVID patients quite regularly, and they have made them wear N95 masks since March, like heavy lockdown. The hospital actually tests all of them for it. They have to go through a serious screening. They've been testing their masks. If it has any type of a leak at all, they have to be put, they have to get a new mask or they have to be put on quarantine. So it was a really big, strict deal. And just so you know, in the last 2 weeks, they've actually lifted at the hospital. So at a physical hospital with plenty of COVID patients there, they've lifted it to where surgical masks are okay. But they're finding out more and more research on COVID. So I would just have an honest conversation with your team. Ask them what they're really afraid of. Ask them what they're concerned about. And then let's find a solution together. Okay, beautiful. So we've got these concerns. Let's talk about what it really is. And I think a bigger piece is they just need a reassurance from their leader. They need to know, I'm not going to die and I'm going to be okay and it's all going to work out. And then once they're there, they'll see it really is okay. Things are going well. That's my take. Ash, Tiffany, any other thoughts you want to add to that? Tiff. Go ahead, Tiff.
I agree with you. Yeah, I wouldn't add anything.
Okay. Ashley, got something?
I totally agree. Education is the biggest solution. And really, you mentioned having a conversation with your team. If it's the whole team, if it's just an individual, sit down on one-on-one, get personal with that individual and ask them what their true fear is. Because sometimes, especially we see this going in coaching teams, you'll get more communication out of somebody if you're one-on-one with them versus the entire team situation. People can be afraid to speak up in front of their peers. And then those true fears just don't get addressed. And then problems start and you don't know why the problems are even there or exist. So have those personal conversations with each employee. Take the time to do that and figure out what the true fear is and what's going on, and then address that with education and solutions for sure.
100%. All right, we've got a question from Steve. Best way to ask for reviews, referrals, doctor, assistant, front, all the above. So Steve, I'll be honest, favorite method is actually Swell. If you want to pop on over there, we have a deal with them. It's $129 a month. Swell will get you more Google reviews than anything else. So that's our preferred favorite. I actually think they might have teamed up with Medento. So take a look at that. Make sure Zeke gives you the discount. And if we need to do a group text for you, happy to do that. Swell, what we did and said for reviews and referrals. I always say hey, Ash, we love you as a patient and we love patients just like you. The best way for you to help us out is to leave us a review. Are you open to doing that for us? And I get a commitment from them. I know it sounds so weird and so awkward, but if they commit to me, they're way more likely. The cool thing about Swell is I don't have to be as bold when I'm asking for a review. I can say, hey, Ash, you're one of my favorite patients. Obviously genuinely mean it. Don't make this up, but truly Ashley is one of my favorite patients. And so I say, Ash, you're one of our favorite patients and we want more patients just like you. Just so you know, you're going to get a text tonight from a review, and we actually read all those reviews. So if you could help us out, leave us a review tonight, it would mean the world, and I'm going to look for your review. So that way they know it's coming. Obviously, only say this to your great patients that you really want more of. Not all patients do you want. So, and I say it's a whole team effort. So you could even have it for, you could have say every person's going to ask for 3 reviews today, or you can highlight who's going to ask for a review. So that way we're not all asking the same person. Usually it's the person as the final piece of the procedure that's going to ask for the review. So that's the best way we found to ask for those reviews. But Swell, I'll tell you, I think they're called Swell because they do reviews so well. Like they just rock it. Most offices average 35 to 105 is the most I've seen in one office per month is what they average for reviews. So they are top notch. I think that'll be the best. Samantha, you asked for tips for building a block schedule. What is the best time for high production versus low or no production? Or is it truly a personal preference? Honest answer is it's a personal doctor preference. So whatever the doctors want, I found most docs tend to be like more ready to rock and roll at the beginning of the day or right after lunch. So that's when I tend to put my high production. Patients tend to perform better there as well. But like in a pedo office, we're going to say put your high production from 10 to 2, which is your dead time, because we can get patients to go to those times. So just really look, it's going to be personal preference. And when we say building a block schedule, docs need to build what they prefer for their ideal schedule. And then your team can totally mirror off of that for you and build it out for you. Excellent, excellent question. All right, you guys, I want to know if you're going to be a gold, silver, platinum office. We are super jazzed. You guys, it's going to be really fun. We're going to walk you through. You're going to become a systematized practice. So thanks for joining us. Next week is going to be, we're doing patient flow part 2. So be here 12 o'clock Wednesday. Thank you guys. Thanks for being here. And we will chat with you guys next time.
All right, Dental 18 listeners, that's a wrap. Thank you so much for listening. And if you love today's podcast, go leave us a review. It takes you 5 seconds, and your review helps more offices, more practices, more team members just like you find out about the Dental 18. Thank you guys so much for being part of my Dental 18 family.